While I was in the middle of recording the Tiny Park series that I just finished, which you should totally watch if you haven't already, something happened that got me thinking. It all started when I placed down a Zozo, and then this happened. Alright, I guess still getting trapped. I need to look at that. And I still feel like I should do something about this whole thirst thing. Like, I should cram a bunch more vending machines that just always sells milk. Good old milk. People are just, why do they love the Zozo so much? 40%. They just want to hop on that Zozo. Why? So right here is the problem. Right, we found it, everybody. Naturally, and thanks to viewer recommendations, I decided to add 6 more to see what would happen. Turns out, it was as much of a disaster as you would expect it to be. Spinning coaster needs a name. This is still an unbelievable mess. Okay, yeah. People telling me that the Zozo is because of the low number of people that ride it. No. No. But all of this got me thinking, which ride in Planet Coaster is truly the best ride? And that's what we're going to find out today. So in order to figure this out, we're going to go into Scenario Editor, New Scenario. We're going to pick a random one. I've never done City before, so hey, let's do City. We're going to name it Best Ride. Start new. Here we go. First thing we're going to do is edit the park dimensions to make them as big as possible. It might already be that way. Nope. Awesome. We can make it bigger this way, and then... Are we going to need it bigger this way? Probably not so much, but... This one's important. So we're going to, Jeez, how big can I make it? Alright, that's as big as I can make it. Perfect. Now we're going to add some more spawn points. And better yet, before I do that, hold on, let's put a path in. So it'll go up like this. Where's Angle Snap? I'm going to try to make this as organized as humanly possible here. I'm making a grid? What on earth? Settings. We want... Okay, maybe we can't... Yeah. So if I want to make the path wider, can't use the grid, which I want to do. So we're going to have a path come all the way down here. Like so, until we hit the edge of the... Oh, hold on. Hold on. I probably should flatten this all first. Okay, that's about as good as that's going to get. Back to adding the path, which zooming in while having the path tool out is a mistake, because then it flies up in the air. Hold on. There we go. And nice and smooth. Perfect. Good. Now we're going to do the same to the other side. Did I change the... Okay, no, the thickness is still fine. Oh, why do you have to be like this? No! Just make a T-junction. No, it's off. It needs to be exact. So this is how it's going to work. We have this nice straight flat line right here. And what I'm going to do is put every single flat ride in a row, somewhere probably out here. Flat ride, maybe some coasters as well, just to compare. And then we're going to attach entrance and exits. And all those entrance and exits are going to be lined up perfectly flat with each other. And then we're going to have a queue line coming all the way back here. And we're going to judge which ride is the best ride based on how full those queue lines get. And you might be saying, wait, there's something wrong with that. What happens with ride times and all that? Don't worry. I have a plan for that, which I'll explain later when I get the rides in. But first thing we need to do is add more spawn points so we can get guests coming in on this line more even. And really the only reason for all these entry points is just to get, you know, guests flowing across the line more evenly. I'm hoping what I can do is have the park open but all the rides closed for like 2 minutes. Try to get enough people walking here. But if we only have the 1 point, I feel like the rides in the middle are going to get more attention. But I'm not exactly sure. So, you know, this is all just a big old experiment. So whatever happens, happens. Hopefully we get good results. Save park, new save, best ride, save scenario, and play. Okay, step 1, fix camera. Good. Step 2. Do I want to pause the park? Because right now we have nothing going on. I don't think anyone's going to show up anyway, but we'll just pause everything. We'll get the music in the background. Step 1. Start placing flat rides. We got to pick a good spot. Also, I want to see how big these things are. Rides. Awesome. They're small. So we should be able to get them all in line. So here we go. Let's start by going all the way over here. What's a good indicator of how far back? Right there. That's what we're doing. There should be enough room if I want to try getting a coaster or something. I don't know how the coasters are going to react to this. Coasters are weird because there's so many variables with them. Flat rides, there isn't. Flat rides, it's just, you know, it's going to be the same unless you change the sequence, but we're not changing any sequences. Although, based on the Zozos from the previous park, changing the sequence might not change that much anyway. Alright, how do I want to do this? Is there any way that I can use some sort of grid? Is that my grid? We're going to change the path width to that. And the goal is just to go straight back. All the frickin' way to the path. Good. And then we need to do the same for the queue line. Ignore the floating trees. I could get rid of them, but there's no point. Okay. So, the goal is going to be to do this for every single ride that I have unlocked in the game. Reminder, I don't have any DLCs, so this is just the base game. So there may be a ride in the DLCs that are better, but this is just base game. So, I'm probably going to speed this up because this is going to take some time. Here we go. Okay, so that is every single flat ride placed in the game. And it's a good thing I don't have any of the DLCs because guess what? They wouldn't have fit. We had to double up some rides. First off was this one because these two are the exact same rides. This is the Monta, yeah, whatever. I don't know how to pronounce that. And then the Weiserhorn. Or Weisshorn. They're exactly the same ride, just this one has a cover over it, so we just put them on top of each other. Don't worry, neither of these two are going to win. I know that for a fact. And then I just kind of threw these two on top of each other as well, because neither of these two are going to win either. The circular rides were a big old pain. Kind of forgot that they existed, the circular base ones. Kind of wish they were all square, would have made things a little easier. And other than that, right here. This is where my money is on this entire experiment. The Zozo is the best ride in this game. That's what my opinion is. I have a strong feeling that's what this video is going to prove. So that's pretty much the goal here, is to see just how good the Zozo is. Well, all the rides are in. That took like a half an hour. Now I gotta put paths to them all, which should probably take longer. Well, that took pretty much forever to do. One thing I changed was instead of having the exits come down along with the queue lines, I just kind of threw them in the back because exits don't really matter. We're not going to be using them much anyway. And doing it this way was way quicker than, you know, putting them all down like that. So, we switched that, and look at this. We're almost ready to go here. One more thing I have to do, which I'll probably edit out because it's going to take a little bit of time, is change the wait times for the queues. And that's how we're going to get around that whole, you know, some rides are a lot slower than other rides. See, that was a theory with the Zozos, that the capacity of the ride's super low, and the ride takes some time, so that's why it seemed like it was super popular. I feel like that's not the case with this ride, judging by how many people are trying to get on it, but the way we're going to avoid that is by selecting a ride, changing the max wait time. We'll get rid of the min wait time, and the max wait time is going to be 600 seconds, so that's 10 minutes. Or better yet, we can make both max and min 600 seconds. There you go. So, it's going to take 10 minutes before this ride starts, and you might be saying to yourself, well, how's that going to work? Won't the guests just get angry and leave? Nope. See, Planet Coaster has a lot of these, like, I feel like they cut a lot of corners with certain aspects, and this is one of them that's actually going to help us out a lot with this test. When a guest enters a queue line, they are stuck in that queue line unless the ride breaks down, which is also why we're going to have to use the cheat to make our rides not break down. You can't even pick guests up out of a queue line after they walk into it, which, you know, is kind of a lame feature because, you know, if a guest is sitting in a queue line for so long, they get angry, they're going to want to leave the queue line. However, with Planet Coaster, the guests have collision with each other. So if you have a queue line that's like this full, and there's a guest up here that wants to leave the queue line, well, they can't because of all the guests there. They're going to glitch through them, and I guess Frontier didn't feel like animating, you know, guests stepping out of the way for guests that are trying to walk out. So, because of that little feature in quotes, because it's not really a feature, it's something we can abuse to make this work, it's gonna work. So let me just set up all these wait times for 10 minutes, and then we'll be ready to go. I also changed the price of everything down to 0, so every single one of these rides is on completely even ground right now. And now we open the park. I haven't added any food or drink or anything. Hopefully I won't need to, but I guess we'll see when the guests start entering, which is right now. Why is that moving? What? What is wrong with you? You have not been waiting here for 600 seconds. Oh my. So if the ride ends up getting full, or in this case half, because we have it selected to half, they're just gonna completely forget about the max waiting time. Alright, so I found a solution to every problem we had with the previous setup, and I'm just gonna go through them right now. First things first, we're not in a custom scenario anymore, we are in sandbox, which means we now have access to a bunch of things we didn't have access to in custom scenario for some reason. So like guest litter, I could turn that off, and a whole lot of this other stuff. So that's great, we don't have to worry about that. There's also staff management features and staff happiness. Those are separate things. I have both them off, and in order to not worry about having to pay our stupid vendors, I replaced them with vending machines. So vending machines everywhere, bathrooms everywhere. Also, very important, the most important thing actually, I found a way to make this work the way I initially wanted it to work. I was just messing around in the sandbox mode, see if I can get it to do it, and guess what? I got it to frickin' do it. So what I pretty much did was this. You go to operations, set this to any load, and then max 600 seconds. I don't know if we even need this checked or not, but this setup worked. So, we're ready to do this now. We're ready to do this the right way. So let's pause the game. Let's get the advertisements going again. Marketing. Start marketing campaign television, marketing campaign that, marketing campaign that. And now we're going to open up every single ride, and we'll be able to do this the right way. Hopefully. I mean, more problems might arise. But so far, I think I might have figured it out. And I'm very happy because I had given up. I was like, you know what, let me go back into the game and try to figure this out one last time. And I'm really glad I did. Because I found something that may just work. May the best ride win. 33, 40, 50, it's so fast. It's the ones on the side here that are super quick. Because there's no walk up to them. And there they go. Right into the rides. Now this might still be a problem where they go into the rides that's closest. Some of them don't, but a lot of them do. So like if I had the Zozo here instead, would they come on that one? We might have to actually do this in different tiers. So, you know, we take, like I mentioned, I don't know how editing this video is going to go, so it might be a mess. There are some that are better than others, so we might take the best ones and then have them go against each other, so it's not all these pointless ones in the way. They are entering some. You can see they're all going right now. So pretty much what happens is the people get in queue line. Let's go back over here where we know there's a full queue line. So what happens is pretty much they'll be standing there forever, and the ride will stop, and then just the doors will open and close, but no one will get on the ride. And then that's it. That's how it goes. It's like perpetually testing, even though there's no crash test dummies in it. So watch what happens here. You just saw it with this one. We're waiting for this thing, though, because this is going to be a popular ride. This is one of the popular ones, if it ever decides to stop moving. Right, there it goes. It's done. The restraints come up, the exit opens, and guess what? It just starts again. So this is exactly what I wanted. So we'll be able to measure the amount of guests in each queue line now accurately. And we're just going to let this thing run. The Zozo is probably super popular already. Oh yeah, look at that. 100%. Told you this was going to happen. And every single ride's now even. So you can't even compare, like, capacity of the ride and how long the ride is because no one's going through the ride. They're all just stuck in the queue line. So this is great. This is exactly what I wanted, and I'm so happy I got it to work. Surprisingly high numbers on these two. Didn't think they'd be popular at all, which is why I stacked them. See, which other rides have no one on them? This thing has nobody in the queue line. The Star Wheel. Poor Star Wheel. So popular ones, right at the start, right off the bat. The popular ones are Iron Claw, definitely. Enterprise was another popular one, as you can tell by the queue line. It's pretty long. None of these. I mean, some of them do have a quite long queue line. This was another popular one. This thing definitely popular in Sky Ace. We have... This has a few more people in it than I thought with Sundial. This one... See, what happened before was after, you know, the first test completely failed, I left it going and I, like, recorded a bunch, which probably isn't going to be in the video. And this was a popular one. Surprisingly, not so much now. Tri-Storm. We'll see what happens later on. Again, the Zozo is still the biggest one. And then this one was also popular, Wild Blue. So I might take those, like, top 5 and then put them against each other with all these other ones not in the picture. How on earth does this thing have this long of a queue line? It's the song, that's why. Alright, let's see the park thoughts, because there is something that is going to be a problem here. And I bet you it's... Yep, right there. 5%. I'm not queuing that long to go on Zozo 1. So that's the issue that we have. The guests aren't going to want to stay in a long queue line. Some of them will still go on it. As you can tell, there are people still filing in line. But 5%, 6% now, say that. Which means this is the only alert we're getting on any of them. Good value, wait. It's interesting, they're saying it's a good value even though they're not riding the ride because they can't. Right now, the Zozo is the only one that has this alert. Which means... So far, it's the best ride. It does have the longest queue line, barely. Or maybe it's not. I don't know, it's weird. Okay, so this is how this works. These people, they want to go on the Zozo, but they don't feel like it's worth waiting in that long of a queue line. Does that mean they like the Zozo, or they don't like the Zozo enough? I take it as, okay, they want to go on the Zozo, but this place sucks. Okay, these 3% can shut up. Oh no, we're just going to keep on going here and see what happens. We have 5,700 guests in the park. Most of them are in queue lines. As you can tell, it's a wasteland out here. There's no one walking around, which is good. Iron Claw is doing pretty well. Kickflip is doing better than I thought it would. The Shuttle's doing better than I thought it would. Ferris Wheel sucks. Bumper cars suck. Wait, are these things actually... Oh, people are riding the bumper cars! Because you can't, like, have those things going and... Okay, so that one... I mean, there's no one in the queue line anyway. I wonder if there's any other rides like that. I don't think so. Enterprise is doing well. This thing is this weird top spin. Top spin with some extra joints. It's essentially what it is. The Hammer Doodaddy, Hammer Swing, has a decent queue line. A lot of these still suck. The freaking Tilt-A-Whirl or Hyperspin. There's nobody. It's awful. Oh, this is so nice. The fact that it's working now. I was so sad before when I didn't think I was going to get this to work, but now that it's working, I'm so happy. We're finally getting answers here. Pathos 3 is a pretty good ride. Rocktopus isn't awful. Yeah, Sky Ace is really good. So here you go. You want to know the rides to put in your park. This video is giving you that answer right now. Wait a second. The Sky Ace is apparently better than the Zozo. Hold on. There's really no, like, I'm judging by where my screen is, so it's not exactly perfect here. But I think, like, that's about where, yeah. Wow. Wow. 6% still say they're not going on the Zozo. Fascinating. So rides we can definitely eliminate. Venetian Carousel, saw that coming. The Swinging Ship, surprisingly. Tourbillon, or the Cube. It's called the other thing in that other game. Teacups, definitely. Aeronauts is better than I thought it would be. It's actually slightly longer because there is a bend in the path. Sunflare we can get rid of. Star Wheel we don't need. No, the Rocktopus is the best ride ever. Actually, there's a lot more, but I'm just going by the ones that have, like, nobody in the key lines. We still have 5,700 guests as well. So there you go. Is there anybody else? Can we, like... Many guests are thirsty. Well, they're all stuck in a queue line, so of course. Can we call it here? Is there anybody else? I don't think anyone else is entering the park. We don't have a limit at 5,000. This ended up working out way better than I thought it would. Which means... we could probably call it now. Well, I think we have a winner over here. The Sky Ace is better than the Zozo, at least on this one test. If I restarted, I wonder if things would be different. Well, let me just try to get a measurement here. And I just want to verify that this is better than the Zozo. And this is how we're going to do it. It's a straight line. I think it's a straight line. It looks like a straight line, right? I would imagine it's a straight line. But I guess we're going to find out. It might be off on a slight angle. Oh, yeah. It beat the Zozo. Look at that. Now, remember, this... See, this is close to an entrance. It's right next to an entrance. The Zozo isn't. So that might also be part of it. Decisions. We're gonna run it a few more times to see what happens. Wow, even this thing's better than the Zozo, apparently. And we had that in my park. The tiny park, but it was all the way at the bottom. And it never had a bigger queue line than the Zozo. So location is important. So I think what we're going to have to do here is pick the top ones. And then do a smaller test to find out the best ride in Planet Coaster. But first... I'm going to restart this. And then we're going to see what happens here. So, bear with me as I get the next results. Okay, 5,715 guests in the park. The Zozo queue line does not look nearly as long as it was the first time. Let's just take a look at the other ones. So far, it is the longest one. Wow, Aeronauts, I feel like, has an even longer one than before. Sundial is now the new longest one. It's a little longer than the Zozo. Sky Ace is the one to beat, though. And Sky Ace, again, takes the frickin' cake. I haven't looked at the other ones, but there's going to be none longer than that. No way. That thing comes close. Topspin comes close. It's like I could do a tournament of the best ride. Oh! Twin Hammer, Hammer Swing, whatever it's called, is like tied. Enterprise, also. And I think that's it. Let me just verify with the path again, because I feel like that's the best way to do it, because with my screen, it's not that accurate. Alright, we're going to go slightly above. Can I select a grid with this? No? Align to grid. Select grid. Boop. That didn't work. Alright, we're just going to assume that this is going to work. That is right where it needs to be. Good. So straight across that way. It's better than that one. The Enterprise is the only one I think that it might come close. That's the Enterprise, isn't it? No, that's the... Oh, yeah, the Hammer Swing, right. Did we pass? No, the Enterprise is here. And again, Sky High, whatever. Sky High Aces takes the cake. That's 2. Ooh. The Iron Claw was a lot closer than I thought. Look at that. You can tell some of the queue lines aren't exact. Like the circular ones may pose a problem. But for the most part, they're as straight as they can be. And the ones we're looking at, there's a chance this is even better because you can tell there is a slight angle to this queue line. So it should be pulled in this way more, which makes it longer in the long run. Still, even with that, Sky High Aces is the better ride. The Zozo. Take a seat, Zozo. You are no longer the best ride in this park, or in this game. It appears that Sky High Aces takes the cake. One more thing I was going to look at was, hey, let's press all the wrong buttons. Why not? There we go. Still, 4% of the park say they're not going to queue on the Zozo. So what does that mean? I don't know exactly what that means. Especially because every single guest is in a queue line. So I don't know who's thinking this. But, wow. Definitely interesting. Interesting results here. I think I am going to wrap this one up here. I may do another episode of this with the best rides. So the Zozo, definitely. We'll even take Wild Blue, why not? We'll take Sundial. We'll take Sky High Aces, of course, or Sky Ace. We'll take Pathos and Overpower. The Hammer Swing. Enterprise. Blackout. Iron Claw, and Kickflip. I think that's going to be our lineup for the next time we try this. And we will see which one of those is the better. See, it's kind of weird because some of these also have really long queue lines. I don't know. We'll see which ones we take. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. That will drive a lot of my decision making on what you think I should do, how you think the tests were run, anything you think might work better. I think we found a pretty solid setup here, though. Swinging ship sucks. The swinging ship has a lesser queue line than the Venetian Carousel. The Whirly Rig has a bigger queue line than both of them combined. Is the swinging ship the worst ride in the park? It is worse than that one. No, I think the Tilt-A-Whirl's the worst one. I think they're even for last. That's amazing. So not only do we find the potential best ride, but also the potential worst. No, Ferris Wheel. The 3 worst rides. The Ferris Wheel, the Tilt-A-Whirl, and the Swinging Ship. And then the 3 best rides would be Sky Ace, Sundial, and it's not even the Zozo. I don't know. Like I said, I kind of want to do like a tournament style and, you know, maybe have an entrance in front of each ride. That way it's as even as possible. I don't know. We'll see. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Leave a like and share the video if you enjoyed. That helped a lot. Subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you next time.